ourselves from the far end of the table.
Hello.
Housekeeping. Hi everybody, my name is Spike Spencer. I originally played Shinji. That's it.
And my name is John Swasey. I played Gendo.
I'm going to drink coffee.
I did Ray. I directed some of the TV series with Matt, and then I did the first round of movies.
And she's PenPen. And I'm
Matt Greenfield. I was the original voice of Hyuga and the Evangelion units, and I wrote the screenplay, the English screenplay, and co-directed with Amanda.
He's a badass. We'll tell you more about it later.
And hi there, I'm Tiffany Grant. Asuka, these are you.
Yeah!
Allison! Hi, I'm Allison Keith-Shipp, and I'm the voice of Misato.
Yes!
Oh, thank you so much for joining us, Allison.
Yes. You put a microphone in front of
I don't know. Just smile.
Will it reach? Because we can share names.
No.
All right. Okay. Anyway.
Moving right along.
Your face can't hear what they hear. They hear. Okay. They can hear. Right. So do people have questions for us?
Yes.
Okay. You go ahead.
Do it.
Okay. What are your opinions on Hideaki Anno's disgust with the idea of anime as like an escapism as far as its narrative, and how he tried to combat that with the realistic ideals of Evangelion?
Oh, wow. You just
Not Evan. Otto is bad shit insane. Seriously, I mean, the guy, wasn't it? It was like he was going to commit suicide after he finished the series, but instead he shaved his entire body.
That was his alternate to suicide. You know what? I'm gonna kill myself. No, I think I'm gonna just shave my body.
Right? Remove the eyebrows. He also did not have the best hygiene, according to some of the people in the studio.
So shaving his body was a good idea.
Yeah, it's actually a favor to everyone.
To answer the actual question, if you actually look at Evangelion, it's very derivative of stories that have come before, which Western audiences aren't all that familiar with. But it's kind of a classic Japanese science fiction story, which he did tend to turn on its head. But primarily, a lot of the stuff about Evangelion is a giant smoke screen. I've always called it the world's biggest Rorschach test. He threw a bunch of stuff out there thinking people will think this is significant. And a lot of it is simply there just to mess with your brain.
For example, all of the animators were Buddhist. There were no Christians on the team. So all of that stuff that's, it's the Sephiroth and all this, the book of this and that. No, they were just like, hey, that's cool, let's put it in the background.
That was intense.
Awesome.
Listen,
This question is more directed for Allison. I know Misato is pretty much the only role that you've done, but what brought you?
no!
This is only a
Back
didn't have to match flaps.
Which was intentional. One of the great things about Evangelion, you realize it, is what a lazy animator Hideaki Anno is. Because he didn't know where the episodes was. He shot all of my characters' lines, the vast majority. I'm holding a piece of paper in front of my mouth. Gendo's always got his hands in front of his mouth. You know, there's all these cheats in there because it's like, well, we need some exposition, but we don't know how much we're going to need, so we'll just have this shot of Hyuga puts on a piece of paper, and then he'll read off, blah, 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 establish what's going on, and then that's why it's all the long shots, all the speaker shots. It's just...
Do you remember the one with Jason's character? He's standing there with a clipboard, never even looks at it the entire scene, and then all of a sudden holds it up and answers the question and puts it back down, and still never looks at it. I'm like, come on, guys.
Or you have like somebody making this huge, like a guard or a soldier coming in and giving Gendo a report, and the shot is just on Gendo going.
Yeah.
So you don't even see the guy talking, and then when it's Gendo's line, it's just.
This is also why Sele normally shows up as a bunch of bars.
Yeah.
It's all like, we don't know what we're doing, we're figuring it out, and
It was ominous.
we've talked with the original cast, they didn't know what was going on. It's like every week it's like, oh, what are they going to throw at us this week? Oh, okay. They start off thinking that, oh, wow, it's going to be just normal, another show. Like, I have to do like, is there a script? Is there anything going on? What? And yes, they were as baffled by the last 2 episodes as you were.
That leads in my question. I actually watched the series for the first time a week and a half ago.
Oh.
Newbie. But my husband would not let me watch the Netflix dub. He heard me start watching it, and then he pulled his DVDs out.
We love your husband.
Yes.
He said it was all wrong. But what are your opinions on the end of the series? My husband had very strong opinions on it. I am more...
They ran out of money.
Is that an urban legend, or is that
It's
really
actually not money. What it was on Anno's previous show, Nadia, Secret of Blue Water, the show went up in the ratings, and they actually got an extension for an extra set of episodes, the infamous Island episodes, which everyone knows, secondary level animation, just kind of to fill it out. And he was totally expecting that to happen with Evangelion. He thought he was going to get some extra episodes. He got to the end, it's like, oh, damn, they're not. Because what people don't realize, Evangelion was not successful in its original run. It only ran on 5 stations initially. And it was its second run where it really picked up steam and popularity. And TV Tokyo did not have the kind of money to just say, okay, keep animating, damn it. So the last couple of episodes were pretty much, we need to get to some kind of resolution,
Congratulations.
Using a lot of stock footage.
Yeah.
Line drawings.
They Ed Wooded it. If anyone wants to know how my feelings on the end, there's a Shinji.
No one asked you. You guys, this is on YouTube. Check it out. It's hilarious.
I didn't realize that was real.
Oh, yeah.
He did that right after we recorded those scenes, because he was like, can I just say something? And he just set it running.
Who here's heard it? There you go.
Got my DVD.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Spike keeps talking over the closing credits. Is this it? Guys, are we really ending the series this way? It's hilarious. Look it up on YouTube. It's beautiful.
Complete improv. No idea what I was going to say.
You ran out of ink too, didn't you, you bastard?
Yes, Gordon.
How do you think that Evangelion shaped modern shonen anime and manga?
Ooh.
Matt?
Okay,
They
again,
made more of it.
the biggest thing that Evangelion said was, hey look, you can do a lot of merchandising without necessarily having a dozen new robots every episode. You can have these same 4 characters and you can repeat that merchandising over and over and over and over again.
And still make
And
it.
still make it. Realistically, like I said, Evangelion, it seemed revolutionary over here because we'd never seen anything quite like it, but it's building on the footsteps of other shows. But basically, it said, okay, we can go ahead and we can kind of push the envelope visually avant-garde. The scripts we're already getting fairly interesting in terms of context. That was really Tamino with Gundam and Space Runaway Ideon really took scripting to the next level with anime. Evangelion introduced the animation director as an auteur, able to make creative decisions. And for a while there, we had a lot of shows that were very much, well, we don't really know what it's about, but it's going to look really, really cool. And that was kind of where Evangelion went. The biggest thing about Eva, and people never seem to snap to this, is there's a reason the kids are 13 years old. 14, excuse me.
14.
14 years old. I'm kidding. And the reason is, that's the target market. That's who this was actually aimed at in Japan. It was there, and the sponsors there all go like, and it's like, well, kids seem to get it, not that warped. So, and that left a lot of creators open to create more off-the-wall things. So we saw things like Razafon come out, where it's like, okay, this is just a crazy idea. That's pretty much. It just kind of opened the doors. The door had been cracked open initially by the Gundam series and Ideon, and then Macross cracked it open a little more, and with Evangelion it kind of became
Blew it off the hinges.
we can get away with a whole lot, and the audience would just assume it means something.
Can you guys hear us in the back?
No,
No, you can't hear us?
that's why I moved forward.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. No, you got it? Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Because we're voice actors, we can talk
Yeah,
louder
we
if you
can just
want.
do this. We're theatrically trained.
It's okay. Welcome.
Did we just boost Allison up a little bit? No?
Allison's waving back to nobody.
Now we can just see ourselves.
Oh, she left the call.
Did you hang up on her? She's like, screw you guys, I'm going to leave our sleep building.
Yeah, she's having connection issues.
Well, while we're going on, let's keep the hands. There's some hands going in
Yes.
the back that I cannot see because there's a guy standing here with a camcorder. So, you right there on the
With the blue shirt?
yeah, the blue shirt, yes.
So, I believe this is for Tiffany and Spike.
Okay.
So, when I was growing up, in about mid to high school, I think we actually had a weeb teacher for once, and he was actually telling us a long time ago that there was something that you and Tiffany recorded, but then was completely scrapped and never heard from again. I've heard Tiffany is the only one who has it, and
I do have it.
Oh! Yes, I still don't.
I know. It has not been released to the general public, but I'll do that. I actually just recently found it. It's on a cassette tape.
Really?
The city of Houston commissioned an AIDS awareness PSA to try to promote people to having safe sex. And Jay West, we recorded Jay West Studio, right? Which used to be on Westheimer, just outside the Beltway, not far from here actually. And
Which is actually where the first couple of episodes of Ava were mixed, by the way.
so, oh, that's interesting. It's at Jay West Studio? Okay,
First
so,
six episodes were mixed there.
son of a biscuit. Anyway,
And we
well,
never
they,
recorded again.
okay. So they wanted, the city of Houston wanted to do an AIDS awareness PSA, and they first contacted Spike.
Did they?
Yes, they did. They contacted Spike, and the concept of it was that you were going to be listening in on some teenagers in like a lover's lane kind of a situation. So they contacted Spike, and they needed to have a girl. They were going to have, oh my goodness, Allison's floating on the
She's drunk, y'all.
They needed a girl for the
Actually,
slide.
I can't hear her. Wait, what's going on?
Okay. Anyway, so they needed a girl for the spot, and they had contacted Spike, and it's kind of a delicate situation, and Spike was like, just call Tiffany, she'll definitely do it. So they called me and told me what it was, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we went in and recorded this. We were actually in separate booths when we were recording this, And
The weird part was, I'm in this booth facing this way, the window, and usually on the other side of that are the directors and the producers and everything. No, on right in front of me was Tiffany,
yes,
facing the same way, that way, looking at the back of her head,
right
and then
behind me, looking at the back of my head. Okay, we'll just leave that there. Anyway, but so yeah, it's me and Spike like, And so doing that, and I think Jay West, it was his studio, but I think he also did the voiceover for it, where it was like, one of these teenagers is killing the other one and doesn't even know it. And so he's doing this very dramatic voiceover while underneath that is us going, oh, yes. And, we're doing all of this stuff.
Sounds so real.
At the end of it, I say, he goes, that was great. And I say, yeah, that was to die for. It's a little on the nose, but anyway, so that's how it was. And so they were very pleased with this public service announcement. So they presented it to whoever, City of Houston, whoever had commissioned this thing, and they played it for them. Apparently they were horrified. They thought it really sounded like someone had snuck up to people, like actually like doing it. And that it was never aired. It never ever played on the radio. I think I have the only existing copy on a cassette tape.
Release the tape!
Release the tape! And
Allison's there. Release it!
so anyway, so that is the story. And instead they ended up doing some cheesy ass thing where it was like some boys doing locker room talk, like, hey, did you hear about so-and-so? Yeah, I heard she's really easy or whatever. I don't know.
So here's the point. The takeaway on this is, they never ran it because we were too good.
That's it.
Hashtag release the tapes!
I know. I moved last year and I found it. I found a cassette in a box with some other cassettes just a few months ago.
And you can buy your copy for $4.99.
So for a long time I didn't even know where it was. And actually, you go ahead and you guys answer questions, guys, and play the end of it for you. So.
Oh no! Why just the end?
She has the end of it on her phone.
I do. Well, it's on all my
Should we answer our question in the meantime?
Yes.
Okay.
Please go and do that.
Cameraman.
A question for everyone. In character, what was your favorite thing to say working on Evangelion?
I'm so fucked up.
That line really was Spike because I'd given him a fan translation, and back then there was no internet because we're a million years old. And so initially he had the fan translation with the "I'm so fucked up," and I kind of like in the studio I made it "I'm so messed up," and Spike went, "No, it has to be that." I'm like, "Oh, dude, you're Shinji. You tell me." Okay. So that was all Spike.
Because my son's.
I got the end of this here for you.
All right, lay it on us.
Oh crap. Hold on, that's not. I don't know
That's
how
something totally different.
to.
That's the other sex tape.
For just $12.99. Precisely.
That's the end of it. I can tell you, Spike is on my demo a few times. We did a bunch of commercials together years ago. So there's a bunch of like Spike on my demo.
The Houston acting market is incredibly incestuous. Everybody knows everybody. everybody and has since the dawn of time. Even if they've gone to Hollywood and become big names, we still know them. We
Yes.
still have pictures of them drunk at parties.
I
Release the photo.
you this month. You're not supposed to.
But I mean, yeah, so back then when we originally started, we had open auditions, and the first people who came in were like, what is this? And as we found people who actually had the knack for it, kept saying, well, do you have friends who know how to do this? And Amanda came in one day and it was like, okay, we got a live one here. Yeah, Amanda recommended Spike, she recommended Allison,
Me?
yeah, Swasey, a bunch of them. And everybody, you see this tree and it kind of goes,
Yeah.
Amanda is our animama.
So anyway, back to the original question. Gendo, what is your favorite line?
In character.
Get in the, oh, shit. Shinji, will you get in the fucking robot?
So my favorite Ray line is actually not in it, but Matt and I used to joke about making a Ray sex tape. 20 minutes of silence followed by, are you done?
and this is Hyuga, this is my other main character.
My favorite Asuka line was in the first recording, ironically, of Evangelion 3.0, You Cannot Redo, which we redid. So in the original, did anybody in here see that in the theater? Did anybody see Eva 3.0 in the theater? Okay, excellent. Okay, in that version, the good one, there was a line that Asuka said of Shinji, he's not just an idiot, he's an asshole! That was my favorite Asuka line ever, and then they made us redo it, and the redone line is, he's not just an idiot, he's a brat! I know.
Allison, what's yours?
Allison, favorite Misato line.
Okay, I have two. One of my favorites is when she is her drunk self, who I love for, and she goes. My other is always because I knew a bunch of cool shit was about to come to go. Anybody want more?
Yes!
I thought it was going to be, don't put it in there.
You know what?
What'd you do, Kaji?
I gotta tell you a little behind the scenes. That scene, my favorite line.
Yeah.
We did an outtake of that.
Oh, God! Amazing. Do it.
So imagine you're watching the scene and you're hearing this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh baby. Yeah.
Wait.
Howl like a dog! Oh, someone give me a towel.
Go ahead.
Can we make Amanda do PenPen's voice?
Yes.
Oh, yes,
Please. Yeah.
Yes.
I think Monica played him in the movie.
Yes. I love this PenPen, baby.
Love me some PenPen.
Oh, there's PenPen.
Oh, I thought you had a question. Any more questions?
What's your opinion on the rebuilds and the new direction they're taking?
I haven't watched them. I'll be honest with you. I haven't watched them. For me, Evangelion ended. Okay. You have to understand when I worked on the Death and Rebirth and End of Evangelion, I worked on that so hard that I actually ended up in the hospital for a week. My body was just like, no, we're not doing this, we're shutting down. So the originals and just like working with Matt on the series and stuff meant so much to me that I was like, really? Kind of beating a dead horse. I mean, honestly, I think it's a money grab.
Yeah. I don't know, it's hard for me to properly assess, I think, the rebuild film since they're not done yet. I always say it's like trying to give your opinion of a book that you've only read 3/4 of it. I mean, to me, it hasn't been as fulfilling.
Oh, this is Todd. Everybody say hi, Todd.
He's like, I did not sign up for this.
Yeah, I mean, so far I'm kind of meh on the rebuild films. You know, I don't know what's going to happen on the 4th movie. I was expecting a lot from the 3rd one, and I was very disappointed. So, I don't know. I'm Allison, what do you think about the rebuild movies that we've worked on?
I mean, you know, here's the deal. How long has this been, like, a blessing for all of us?
Yes.
So, you know, it's
Yes.
just to have the longevity and know that so many of them, it's hard to answer. If I can.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
I think just really what you need to consider, or what I try to just consider is, what you're saying, Allison, is that just the longevity,
Yeah.
the lifespan this thing has had. You know, it stinks to get replaced, but it's just because that's what Netflix wanted to do. I mean, there's no actor. Ray Chase didn't go, listen, I don't like Swasey as Gendo. You need to make me Gendo. He didn't do that.
Right.
They were not even going to consider me as Gendo.
Right.
But you know what? I'm not even the original Gendo. I got nothing to complain about. I had a good run. It was a lot of fun, and people still look at it. But it's like, dude, it's like looking at Batman. Who's Batman, really? Adam West. Thank you.
Conroy.
I think what the bottom line is, and I haven't seen it on Netflix, but to me what the bottom line is if they stay true to the story and true to what the creator originally had intended, then it's fine. If they're going in some direction and they don't have the blessing of the creator, then it's not fine.
The ironic thing is, the translation they're using is actually one that we turned down originally. It's David Flynn's script. Maybe he's tweaked it since then, but he offered it to us originally, and we went with the translation by Kuni Kimura instead because we felt he had a better grasp of what worked going from one language to another as opposed to a transliteration, which ironically is what everyone's complaining about, so how many of the lines in the new version don't have the same punch because they mean more directly in Japanese translated the way they are than they do in English. And when we did originally, I still got the original scripts and have all the red notes that we came back from Gainax. When we did it, they wouldn't have the same thing. So they're the third children, the fourth children. No.
One person cannot be a children.
A lot of that stuff. But then the other thing,
Matt did it. Matt stood up to them and was like, this is ridiculous. We're matching mouth flaps and it is a child, not a children.
Matt Greenfield
Yes.
a genius. And so is Amanda Ridley. And they are the ones that kept it real and kept the fiber and the moral fiber of what they wanted alive. And I want y'all to give them a round of applause. For real.
What does really bother me from what I've heard of the Netflix is they apparently have missed one of the entire points, which is that the entire series is actually meant to be presented as a closed loop. That's why they keep cutting to Shinji's digital Walkman flashing 25-26. And once you've gone through the episodes all the way through, you're supposed to go back and watch it again. And that's when you start realizing how many lines have double meanings. How many things are said that don't mean what you think they said the first time. Especially Ritsuko is just an evil woman. Are just awful. They don't sound awful. She guys, well, she knows that there's a big old Is there anyone here who hasn't seen the damn show?
No. If you haven't, too late. We're
Big
split.
old tank of dead rays floating around. You know? And once you know that she knows this, it's like, wait a second. That was an evil damn thing to say. And when you do a straight transliteration of this word means this in English, this word, you lose that flavor. And I think that's something that we were able to get in there.
Cool. So it's all the double meanings. I'm really not fucked up.
No, you're No, I meant you're more fucked up than you ever imagined.
Doesn't mean double standards.
Banana slug to a phone receiver?
Oh, well, okay, yeah, that was not Evangelion.
No, it wasn't Evangelion, but I'm just bringing up how the translation
Okay,
is important
exactly.
to make
Right,
it a cultural shift.
One thing that I did years ago was he got me doing adaptations for subtitle scripts before I was doing adaptations for dub scripts. And I was working on a show, and it was a hentai. And I was looking at the translation, and I was trying to craft that into a little bit more polished language for that. And there was a line that said, "It went from a slug to a telephone receiver." And I said something, and I thought like something moved from this to that, and I didn't understand what it meant.
It's talking about
This was
wiener.
talking about an erection. Describing an erection. And this was that was how it was translated. The line said, "It went from a slug to a telephone receiver." And that probably is exactly what the words were, but that makes no sense. I mean, I didn't even understand what it was talking about.
There were so many times I'd be like, Matt, can you translate this into English for me?
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's like one it was like, the river walks softly here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So, right, just
You know, Tiffany,
transliterating something.
that line makes perfect sense to me, and I'm sorry.
That's what your wife said.
It went from a slug to a telephone receiver. And that's when the guy goes, honey, phone call. Yeah, and then your wife says, take a message.
One night only, ladies and gentlemen.
I should point out that the way what you're seeing, this is how it actually is in a recording booth. This is how you get through doing a show like Evangelion.
That was the hardest part, was Matt putting us back on track.
He had to wrangle us.
Yeah.
Real quick,
Go ahead. Well, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say on the rebuilds, there's one more coming, and everybody keeps asking me if I'm in it. I don't know.
We have no idea.
You know, and I got to tell you, being there and doing all of them all the way up, it's like I still don't know what the hell's going on. It's cool.
I understand, when I started with Amanda and Matt, and working for Matt, Matt, you really are a genius. And I just want to tell you, the work for you, none of this would be possible. But it was so funny recording with Matt because when I started, Amanda was a director and Matt was a director, and that was it. And they were just trying to pump out as much as they could, and they were working all day and all night. It was crazy. And Matt, I don't know how many trees we've lost, Matt, but Matt had a script for every actor that walked in.
Yes.
Whether you were Shinji or Soldier B, you got a full script. And at the end, you look around, and in the corner, there was like just a tower of recycled scripts. I mean, like, you're just like, wow, dude, we lost Memorial Park. I mean, this was the best thing. This was the best thing I loved about working with Matt. So back in the day, when we started, in a paper script, and Matt would rewrite lines and stuff like that. That's fine. And then we got to the point of having a script on a screen, which made Matt's life a lot easier, and the forest happier. But Matt could just change it on the fly, And so we do a line, and you read this long paragraph, and you get all the way in, and they go, So then we get to the point we record it, and this is just, you record it. And as actors, we're very insecure just by nature. We have a level of insecurity, which is why we want you to applaud for us. We want you to love us. So when you're in a voice booth, you don't get that, right? You're in a booth, you're in an isolation booth with headphones, and they're outside there, and you say your line, and you look up, and you want to see this. He nailed it. And Matt, though, bless his heart, he'd work so long, he'd be so tired. You'd do a take, and you'd look up, and you'd see Matt just going.
That is true.
Yeah, that was good. Let's move on. We're in the booth going, oh no, what do I do? I can't do this anymore. But if it works out, it's true. None of us would.
That's true.
True.
I would like to say, I have every one of my original Asuka scripts with all the notes in the margins. So I still actually have all I've kept. Back when we did have the printed out scripts, I kept every single one of
In a
them.
storage unit?
Yeah, they're in my garage, in a container. Yeah, a big plastic container.
You can't get your car in your garage then.
Thankfully, we're not, like John says, we're not printing them on paper anymore. But yeah, I kept all of mine. I do. I have them.
Does anyone have a picture of
Upload.
Oh, Allison, you froze, baby.
Picture of what?
She left.
Yeah, she's dropped.
Oh,
She just
yeah.
connected up.
She's not going to be happy with that yet.
So tell me, who are you? Give it a question.
So hearing all of these issues, translation and all that y'all been going through and hearing about all the changes and all that, how many nights in a row did y'all just go out drinking?
Every single
Everyone.
night.
How many bars were just sold out by the end of it?
Every single
Single
one.
Yeah, Misato.
And just so you know, that hasn't stopped now that we're not doing it.
That's just us.
Who was at my panel last night?
That's called Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
What was the Allison? What were you trying to say before you kind of froze up for a second?
I'm sorry, I said one of the most uninterested would be Matt's office, what it looks like.
No, that's terrifying.
Have y'all ever seen Hoarders?
Which version of his office stuff?
Are you saying that he knew where everything was, Allison? Because that's not true.
That's not true, I was lying.
Yeah. He
But
thinks
it was
he did.
amazing.
Yes,
Amazing.
it was
We
amazing.
need to find an old picture.
Yes.
Gentleman with the beard. Yes, you.
Oh, okay, cool. First of all, thanks for the great big penis joke.
You're so welcome.
We do what we can.
Yeah.
Regarding the Shinji rant, was that just something you spat out on recording? There's like, throw it in, or were you just like, hey guys, look at this is gonna be funny.
Yes.
Yes.
Just thrown out.
Yeah, he got there, and a couple of the other actors already got there. They all basically they're just go ahead and let it out. Everyone else has, and boom, it's like yeah, that's gold. We're saving that. We didn't dare put it on the initial releases back when it was VHS, but once it was DVD, oh hell yeah.
But you made a point earlier, but when we're in a recording booth, and especially in this genre, this medium, I mean whatever, there are all kinds of stuff that got recorded that hopefully the tape just got burned or something. But it's a very safe place for us to say whatever the F we want and to do and to let stuff out and be completely inappropriate, to be completely politically incorrect and do all kinds of things just so we can just get it out because it's fun. And you got to get it out.
And
If you don't, it's
sometimes
going to be
you're
a
not
problem.
responsible. You can do something with it, like the Animego new release of Gunsmith Cats has all of our outtakes.
Oh!
What?
Oh! I didn't know that. Oh,
How many they actually did? I sent them the DAT.
I retract my statement. It is no longer a safe place.
We've been breached.
going, and when he was just kind of, not doing anything, he was putting it all together. And so like we come in and they go, hey, check it out, boom. And it was just this rant of ridiculosity. We was like, oh my God, that's funny as hell. I hope nobody ever hears it.
Way in the back.
Yes.
First flight, do you still hold the sentiment that you had the whole rant at the end? Do you still hold that sentiment? Do you still hold that sentiment?
Do I still hold the sentiment of my I stand by my words, thank you.
Yeah.
What are your guys' favorite angels?
Oh.
Misato.
She didn't hear it. He's like, what?
I said, you, Misato, are my favorite angel.
Is that why you stayed his bedroom?
Ease off the giggity shot.
I don't know if I have a favorite angel.
I
Do you
kind
have
of-
a favorite angel?
Jacqueline Smith.
Oh. He's from Houston, y'all.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, Kristen Stewart was pretty good in the movie.
Okay. Wait a minute. At the very far back,
Here, against
there's
the wall.
Yes.
You're gonna have to belt it out, baby.
So I don't know if this was asked yet, but whenever you were recording End of Evangelion, what was going through your minds with everything after episode 25 and 26 and then that movie?
Scotch.
For a couple years, it took a couple years for End of Evangelion to come over here. And it was heavily pirated. There were bootleg tapes of it, fan subs everywhere. And I managed to find someone who had a copy and sent it to me. And I watched a fan sub of End of Evangelion at home by myself. And I was yelling at my TV, Shinji, why aren't you helping me? I was really mad at Shinji, for sure. And that is not a movie that I should have watched by myself.
So the end of Evangelion came about because Otto got death threats for the way the series ended. And he was like, fine, you want another ending? Everyone dies. The end. But we would take a lot of breaks and screw around excessively because when it's really dark like that, you have to, otherwise you go nuts. So
It was, yeah, super dark, super dark. Not something I want to relive.
Against the wall.
So, since you just mentioned fandom, I was just wondering, have you guys, and you watch Eva Bridge on YouTube? Eva Bridge.
Team 4-star? Is it Team 4-star?
I think so.
I've watched, God, I think I watched some of it years ago. I watched, what I really like is Gigax. Yeah, definitely. The Gigax videos are amazing. And if you guys haven't watched it yet, the Gigax review regarding the Netflix release. Fantastic.
I did call you. Yes, sir.
Alright, so do you think one of the things that has caused Evangelion to last so long is the fact that a lot of the information about what's going on in the background with the rest of the world, with Sealy and Nerve, is often kept in the background and not openly talked about, so it's required a lot of fans over the years to comb through it, find the little bits and pieces and pull them together to figure out what
That's what I said at the beginning. It's a Rorschach test. It's what do you see in this picture? With all this stuff thrown at you, what do you pull out of it? And every time someone watches it, they come away with something just a little bit different. So people keep watching and say, there must be more going on here. And they'll watch it again. Well, that time I saw this, and I didn't, now I don't think what it was. And that's why. It's literally, it leaves you so open trying to figure out what's going on. If it had had a nice, simple ending, they killed the angels, it's over the end, we wouldn't be talking about this show anymore. But because it was left so wide open and it has the alternate endings and it has the alternate version in the manga, and now God knows how many alternate manga versions, You know, it's hanging out there, and people bring to it what they will. And it's a very strong emotional show for a lot of people because it hits you, it resonates with where you are emotionally at certain points in your life. And it will always be that way because it is so ambiguous that you can read into it.
I think we have time for one more.
Make it a good one.
Somebody else pick it. Spike, pick it.
Man with the glove.
Which character do y'all feel the both got the worst deal at the end of the series? Which one was just the most abused in y'all's in your opinion?
Kaoru's head did get popped off. You know,
Clean right off.
yeah, there's,
Yeah.
so,
Pretty
yeah,
cool.
I don't know.
I think it's Mari because nobody likes her.
I kind of think they all got a raw deal in the end.
Oh no.
Do it.
I don't care.
I'm gonna go with PenPen. Hear me out. When you're stuck on a moon, he's the first one to get eaten.
Okay, one more. Gentleman in the black shirt.
Oh, okay, this one goes for John and Amanda. We all know about the Netflix situation about how say Tiffany and Spike weren't called back. Did Funimation at least call you two back to reprise your roles?
Yes.
Yes.
Sweet.
No.
I flipped a coin in my head, I don't know. I did it, I reprised Gendo at Funimation.
Yeah, no, I couldn't, it was a scheduling thing. And so I told Mike, I was like, look, just cast it locally because it was such a small part when you put she's so intense, but if you put it all together like that, it's usually like an hour of stuff to do. So I told him to just go ahead and recast. One more? Do we have
Let's
time
go
for
to the
one?
side of the room here.
This
right?
one. Yes, lovely.
Would you guys ever want to see Evangelion into a live action movie?
If it was well done, I could see it as a
I believe you've seen Pacific Rim.
Guillermo del Toro was in fact one of the directors online to direct the live action Ava when it was in development. So think of that what you will.
When I saw Pacific Rim, it was funny because at first I didn't realize that it was an homage, and I'm like, they ripped us off! No! That's my Shinji! You know? And then, and I even wrote something on Facebook, and then Lorraine Reyes was like, I think it was sort of more of an homage than like a stealing. I'm like, oh, done.
What about Allison? What do you think about making of a live action?
I think the same thing. If it was done really, really well,
Yeah.
I mean, dude, they could put Transformers to shame up in here.
I agree.
Do we have time for another?
I'd like to see it if I could play Gendo.
Hey, you gotta be able to grow up.
I can do it. That really
We have time for one more. Yes.
A quickie.
Yes. You, sir, with the glasses.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes.
So why don't you explain me what the hell happened at the end of Evangelion?
No.
They all turned into Tang.
Thank you.
Okay. Wow. Well, we're all going to be in the dealer's room very soon, signing things for you guys. Allison will not be because she has had a remote undisclosed